Alright, so before we get into the whole settings, I do want to clarify that these settings are the best for my PC, which isn't the strongest build, and if you want to make some tweaks to it, you are more than welcome to, because at the end of the day, these are your personal settings, and what works for you might not work for everyone else. So just be aware of that and make changes to your personal liking. Now, starting off with my controller settings, I personally use a SCUF controller, and for those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically a controller with paddles on the back that let me jump and slide around so I don't have to move my hands from the joystick, and I can heal and do stuff like that without having to move my hands around. And I personally run this at default. I've ran it at default for a while now. I know some people like to run it at attack as well, but I mean, that's just personal preference. If you want a default, you can run a default. If you want attack, you can run attack. For horizontal stick sensitivity, pretty much the same thing. This is just how sensitive you want your sticks to be for horizontal and vertical. For me, I run it at 12/12. I did used to run it at 6/6, but I kind of found that to be a little slower. So I slowly turned it up until I found the sweet spot for me, which was 12/12. I got used to it. That is why I like it like this. Everything else below, I pretty much have it as off. My simplified control presets off, low motor, everything. These things aren't gonna really matter too much. For this one right here, this just pretty much swaps your L1 and R1s. I have it at off. I don't want to shoot with my L1 and R1 button, so that's what I have it at. But if you want it on, you can also have that on. Controller vibration, I have this off. I don't like my controller to be vibrating while I'm playing a game, so that's why I have it as off. Next up is going to be the dead zone. This is kind of an important one. Not a lot. So what you're gonna pretty much focus on first is your left trigger and your right trigger. You do want to set those at 0 so you have them really like reactive, so you don't have a delay. So I would just recommend putting those at 0/0. For my right stick max and my left stick max, I have them at default 99. I'm pretty sure it's default for everybody at 99, but when I lowered it, I didn't really see a difference, so I just kind of left it at default. For the right stick and the left stick min, so this is basically gonna depend on your controller, but if you're getting stick drift, basically what you want to do is start off at 0, and if you're getting stick drift, I'll show you guys. So once let me just see. So once you put this at 0, and if you had a controller for a while, you will get stick drift. Like you see how the right side right here is moving around like frantic. That's gonna be your stick drift. And to basically fix that, you're gonna slowly move it up little by little until it stops moving. And for me, the sweet spot was 24. So when I put it at 24, you're gonna see it stops moving around. So you see that it doesn't really get that stick drift anymore. For my left stick min, I had it at 0. I tried it at 0. It's pretty bad. It's too sensitive for me. So that's why I have it at 15. I've had it at 15 for MW3. So I just kind of kept it there. And that's pretty much what you want to do for your dead zone inputs. Next up is going to be your aiming. For sensitivity multiplier, it's default is going to be 1 for all of them. For my ADS sensitivity multiplier, I've always had it at 0.90, so that's kind of why I keep it here. But default is going to be 1 for all of them. I honestly don't see much of a difference. I just like it at 0.90 because I've had it since like Cold War, so that's kind of what I kept it as. For look inversion, this is going to be standard. I'm pretty sure it was standard on default, so that's kind of why I kept it there. For my aiming advanced sensitivity, I have my ADS sensitivity transitioning at instant. My third person, I have it at assist. And for my aim responsive curve type, I have it on dynamic. This is something I've had for some time now, so I just kind of kept it at dynamic. Honestly, I tried standard. I don't really notice a difference. Some people will probably tell you they do. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have any custom sensitivity for zoom. That's just setting up your sensitivity for different zooms on your guns. I have it as off. Mine are all pretty much standard, so that's kind of what I have it as. For this, everything is standard. Don't really know what that does, so I just kind of left that. And for my aim assist, obviously you're gonna want to have both of these on. You want your aim assist. It's kind of important if you're on controller. Next up is the motion sensor behavior. I have this at off, and everything here is on default. I honestly don't think anyone needs to focus too much on that. Maybe you do, but honestly I haven't noticed any difference. My game feels pretty smooth without it, so I just left it at default. Next up is the movement. For sprint assist, I have it on tactical sprint. I'm pretty sure everybody should probably have it on tac sprint. And what you want to do is set this as low as you can, so you have less delay. I have it set as 1, just because I don't know why, just because it's 1. I'm pretty sure some people set it as 0, but I just have it as 1. Sprint assist sideways, I put both of these on. I think on default they were on, so just kind of left it there. Mantle assist, I turned it off. Crouch assist also off. Corner slicing, some people have this as on. It's pretty much when you're like, I don't really know how to say it, but it's like when you're turning the corners and it kind of does that weird thing that they added this game. I have it off. I don't really care about that. For my movement behavior, I have tap to slide. I know some people like hybrid. I've also tried hybrid, but tap to slide since MW3, so that's what it's gonna be. Sprint restore, you want this on. Slide maintain sprint, also want this on. You want to keep that. You want to keep your sprint. Parachute automatic behavior, I mean, you can have this on whatever you want. You probably don't want it to be free fall and all that, because you don't want your parachute to be pulled up automatically, so kind of want that to be off. Mantle cancels reload, turn that off. And for the advanced movements, sprint tactical, for the sprint behavior, I have this on toggle. Auto move forward off. Auto peek doors off. Tac sprint activation, you want this to be single tap sprint. Plunging on underwater, I have it as free. And sprinting door bash, I have that on. And for the vehicle advanced settings, these are all defaults. I'm pretty sure these are all default. I didn't really touch this. I just looked around, but yeah, these are all default. But you can change it depending on how you feel about that. Next up is the combat settings. For my aim down sight behavior, I have it on hold. I'm pretty sure this is what you should probably have it on for everybody that's on controller. Hold is what you're gonna want to do. For tactical stance behavior, I have it on toggle. Tac stance activation, ADS plus button. Weapon mount activation, ADS melee. Dedicated melee weapon activation, you're gonna have to put this on hold for melee. This one right here, I think it was I think on default it was on prioritize finishing move, but that's kind of on preference. I like to prioritize the body shield just because it's a cool feature. I think it is, but I mean, if you want to prioritize finishing, you can just switch it to that. For my armor plate behavior, you want to apply all, you don't want to do one by one. C4 detonation, they have all, so basically it just allows you to blow them all up at once or one by one, depending on what you like. I prefer one by one just because I like it like that, so that's kind of what I have it there. For my equipment behavior, have it on hold. Manual fire behavior, press. And for my advanced settings, I'm pretty sure this was an important one. Yeah, for your sprint cancels reload, yeah, you want to turn this off. This fucked me up in the first couple of games when I was playing. I don't know why this is even a thing. I just turned it off. I don't like it. So I would recommend turning this off. But if you want to test it, turn it on and see how that feels. I just don't like it. So that's why I have that off. For interact reload behavior, I have prioritize interact. Because when I was trying to pick up stuff, I was really struggling because I don't want to hold my button to pick stuff up, so I just kind of prioritize interact. Plus, I mean, I think this is what a lot of people have it at for like some time now, so I'm pretty sure this is what everybody's gonna want to have it at. So I would recommend just putting it on prioritize interact. For my weapon mount, I have a short delay. I'm pretty sure this is on defaults. I don't even know if I changed that or not, but I have that on default. For akimbo behavior, I have it on paired. This pretty much just kind of changes it depending on how you want to reload and use your akimbo. I prefer paired just because I don't want to reload my guns one by one. So, you know, when you like akimbo and you don't want to reload, yeah, that's pretty much what that is. ADS stick swap, I have it on off. Depleted ammo weapon switch. I'm pretty sure, honestly, I don't even know why I have this on. I'm gonna keep it on. I don't really know the difference between that. I don't think I've noticed it in my games when I've been playing, but I think you can turn that on or off. I think that's just a personal preference. I just have it off. Pretty much everything else is on default. I don't mess with any of this. Next up, we're gonna go to graphics. Honestly, you can copy this. This is what I found to be the best settings for me. I just kind of lowered it as low as I could, and the game still looks fine to me. Obviously you're gonna change it to your preferences, but the game still looks fine if you have it on these settings, if you want to copy them. For custom frame rate, honestly, I would just recommend unlimited. I mean, some people set their frame rates based on their monitor refresh rate, but I just set it on unlimited because it's easier and I don't have to think about it. For your reduced menu render resolution, native, pause game rendering off, and then reduce quality. Honestly, I've noticed that they've added a lot more settings that you have to really go in depth to. But if you just want to copy, that's also fine, because I found these to be the best settings that give kind of the best what's it called, graphics without losing too much frames or anything like that. For my graphics preset, I have it on custom. You want it to be at 100%. Whatever your render resolution is, you want to have it on 100. Dynamic resolution, I have it at off. And fidelity cast, I've been running this for a while on MW3. That's why I have it on 7070 for both of these. I have it on fidelity cast. I have it on 70 on this one. Variable rate shading, I have this off. And everything is going to be either low, very low, or off. The game still looks pretty good, but if you want to change something, you can obviously do that. For on-demand texturing, I have it on minimal just because you can't turn it off. I remember you could turn this off, but I guess now you just can't, so I just put it on minimal. Everything is going to be low or off. I would highly recommend doing that because you want to get the most, if you want to get the most frames out of your game and still have it looking pretty good, I would just put everything on low and just kind of tweak your VRAM scale targeting. Other than that, the view is pretty much based on the field of view is going to be pretty much based on your preferences. Some people like to change it to 110. I like 120. I want the full scope of it. Honestly, it's just it's an advantage thing. I would highly recommend just kind of tweaking it out and see what works for you. For ADS field of view, I have it on affected. Weapon field of view, I have it on wide. And third person field of view, I have it on 90. Field of view for my vehicle default. And this is an important one. What you're gonna do is turn off world motion blur, weapon motion blur. You don't want that. That's obviously not a good thing. You don't really want motion blur when you're moving around and stuff like that. So just turn that off. Next up is gonna be the audio settings. Honestly, audio has been such a big issue this season, so until they fix it, honestly, I don't think there's going to be any perfect settings. If somebody says this is the perfect setting or something like that, I mean, you can try it, but honestly, I haven't noticed any difference. For my master game volume, I've turned this to 100. My gameplay music, I turned that off. My dialogue 50. My effects, I want to hear the most out of like footsteps, so I have it on 100. Everything else on 0. So that's why I prioritize effects. Pretty much everything else is default. Audio mix, Treyarch. I've tried it on bass boost, Treyarch mix. Honestly, they all sound the same to me. So, but I mean, if you want to change it, you can also do that. Everything else is on default. My voice chat, I have it on 30. Last words, these are all personal preference. If you want last words voice chat from an enemy to be on, you can turn it on or off. Game voice chat, yeah, these are all preferences. My microphone level is 25. That's also just dependent on your microphone. Microphone mode, open mic. But if you want to copy these, just copy them. Honestly, there's really nothing special per se. These are just kind of personal preferences, but so if you want to do that, you can just do that. Next up is interface. I'm gonna scroll down on these because this is also a personal preference thing. This just kind of makes it easier to, you know, view the game. So if you want to copy these, just copy them, and if something seems wrong, just change it, I guess. Color customization, yeah, this is on default. I think a lot of people recommended having this on filter 2 and having it on both and maxing out world color intensity and interface, because it kind of makes the game pop more. So if you want to copy that, just copy that. And gameplay HUD, honestly, I think this is a really important one. What you want to do is kind of make this as small as you can, so you don't, I mean, it kind of depends on your screen, but I have a pretty big screen. I have a 27-inch. That's why I like doing this, because it makes everything more compact and makes it easier to see. My mini map shape is square. My mini map, it also rotates. Radar is off, and everything else, I mean, just copy it. There's really nothing special. You can also change your crosshairs to different sizes and colors, so there's that. I'm pretty sure it's on default, except for this. You can really, I actually like this feature because changing this, it makes it easier to track and center, so that kind of helps. Everything else is on default, nothing special there. Alright, so that's pretty much going to be my whole settings video. I don't really have any more recommendations. I mean, there has been some issues with the game's launch, but until they fix that, that's really something that only they can fix. But if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And also let me know if you have any questions on these settings or if I missed something that you want to know. And pretty much with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.